Hey friends, Anna Hines here, and this is video number 2, how to tap. So I'm just going to teach you the tapping points, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the process so you understand what's going on. So the first tapping point is called the karate chop point, and it's on the side of your hand. It's also called the psychological reversal point, because in this point, we talk about going from one way of feeling to another. So I'll explain a little bit more of that in a minute, but you're just going to tap on the side of the hand between the fleshy part and the bone. And then the next point is the eyebrow point. And I like to take fingers 3 and 4 and tap right on the eyebrow between it and the bridge of the nose. So not on your forehead, but right on the eyebrow. And 6 or 7 times. And then go to side of the eye, right on the bone. So not in the temple, not in the eye, but right on the bone. Again, 6 or 7 times. Tapping is very forgiving. Underneath the eye, right on the bone. Underneath the nose, this is probably the easiest one. On the chin crease, again, 6 or 7 times, really simple. Collarbone point, right where the dip is, you go down just a little bit and slightly out. So I like to take fingers 1 and 2 on this side and then my thumb and just tap right there. You can also take your entire palm and just tap right on the collarbone. And then the top of the head, right on the bone in the center of your head. So we're just going to do it one more time. Eyebrow point. So you can use fingers 3 and 4. That feels more comfortable for me, but do whatever works for you. Side of the eye right on the bone. Underneath the eye. Underneath the nose. On the chin crease. Collarbone point. And top of the head. And what we'll do is we'll go through these rounds over and over again. Notice I skipped the karate chop point because we only use that at the very beginning when we've identified emotion, and then we're going to tap through the points. All right, so now I'm going to give you a feel for how the process might work in an actual session. So once you've learned the tapping points, then what you do first is you identify an emotion that you're struggling with. So let's just say it's stress. Stress is really prevalent in the US, so that's an easy thing to work on. And what you would do is you would feel into that stress, and then you would rate that stress on a scale from 0 to 10. Now don't worry too hard about what the number is. Just notice the first number that comes to your mind, kind of generally, like, I think the stress is at about a 9. Okay, so you're just going to rate it in your mind. You're going to start tapping karate chop point. And then if you're doing this with a practitioner, you would be asked probably to say, even though I feel this stress, I love and accept myself and how I feel, or something along those lines. Because again, this is the psychological reversal point. This is helping you go from one way of thinking to another way of thinking. And then what you would do is you would tap through the points at your own pace, noticing and feeling that emotion of stress. So as you're tapping, you're noticing this feeling, and just know that emotions only have a shelf life of about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Just like children are really, really good about like throwing a fit and then suddenly they're happy again, this is the way that we're meant to process emotions. We're meant to allow ourselves to feel them and then allow it to pass through us. And then we may feel another emotion that pops up, but we're processing them very, very quickly rather than letting them just get stuck in our system and then creating all sorts of havoc on our health. Okay, so as you tap through the points, once your body kind of gets to this place where you start to feel that emotion, that stress, kind of dial down, you'll notice that the feeling almost lets go of you rather than you letting go of it, forcing it to happen. You notice that it just kind of calms down a little bit, and then you take a really deep breath in to clear out that extra energy, that energy of stress or whatever it is that you're feeling. And then you would tune in again and ask yourself the question, what is it that I'm feeling now when I think about this trigger that came up? Maybe it was at work or with my significant other or with my kids or something that's come up. And then you notice what the emotion is now. So it could be the same emotion again, and it could be dialed down just a little bit. So for example, if it was at a 9, maybe it's now at a 7. Or it could be a different emotion. Maybe it's not stress. Maybe it's just a sense of overwhelm. So then you would do the same thing again. You would start by tapping on the karate chop point, and you do the psychological reversal point. And you'd say, even though I feel overwhelmed, I love and accept myself and everything that I feel. And you say that 3 times. You tap through the points and you notice the overwhelm. Okay, so this is just giving you a general idea of how the tapping works. And the reason that we shift from one emotion to another is because sometimes there's different aspects, different things that arise, different emotions that arise when we think about a trigger or an issue. So we'll go through a few of those aspects until you feel like when you think about the trigger or the issue, something inside of you just kind of dials down. So that's the basic traditional tapping process. And again, there are a lot of different techniques and different visualizations or different ways of using the tapping process. But the great thing is, so long as you're tapping, you're sending a calming signal to your limbic system, to your nervous system, that's going to help your body start to learn how to relax. You're not going to be sending those stress chemicals into your body over and over, which are leading to that inflammation and to chronic pain and to chronic issues. You're sending that calming signal, which is a healing signal to your body. So I hope this has been helpful for you. In the next video, I'm going to talk to you about some basic questions that people typically have and what to do if you don't feel like the tapping is working for you.